Here's a video on putting in my drag strut, and a lot of people have this issue and have this problem, and they say, which way do these bushes go on? So there's always some debate about whether to go for poly or regular rubber. Polys are too hard, but to be honest, I don't want to change this in 20 years. I'm done, and so I decided to go poly. Now the way they go on, I don't know if you can see this, is the correct angle. So if I'll take this one in hand, if this one goes here, it goes this way. The flat part goes on the body, and the other side you put it on this way, and then the washer goes on like that. So I don't know if you can see that. And so basically the two cones, the biggest part goes together. Now another thing that people don't do is, I've got this all off so it makes it a lot easier. This bolt, even in the book ROM, the parts book, it's got the bolt going down from the top and not from the bottom. Now it is difficult, I agree, admit it is quite difficult to get this in from the top when everything's all in place, but you can do it if you jack up the car and then you jack up this ball joint, it sort of makes it pretty much square, and then you can just about get this bolt in there. But this is the way that it recommends you put it in there. And what's the reason for that? Is if that lock nut comes off, at least that bolt stays in there. If you have it this way, the lock nut comes off, it's going to fall out, and it's not going to break, but you don't want that to do that. So the recommendation is put it this way. In the ROM, it has a lock washer on the bolt side and not on the nut side. And do yourself a favor, if you're in US, Amazon has a boatload of these bolts. You just buy them. They're pennies on the... I don't know, I used to be cheap and reuse old ones. But you're going to save your life. You don't have to do them. They're brand new. They're in pennies, as I said. So go ahead and change them. Another thing is, interesting thing is I got these Monarch springs and Monarch shocks. There was somebody who was recently talking about the shocks are actually Spags from LD parts, and the gaiters that come with them are useless. So I was able to find some, and the aftermarket rubber that typically is sold by the usual people probably will last 5 years. So I went on Amazon and I bought some motorcycle ones. They're a bit loose on the top, but I think they'll hold, and I'll see how they go. These were less than $10-20, I think. I'm using Monarch springs. They're 1.5 inch lowered. So with that, I'm not sure if you can see this. Sorry about the light. I'm using Chris Witor's adjustable bushes here. You can change the cam handle. And I originally didn't figure out how these worked, but basically, if you can see that. Let me just get the camera here and I'll zoom out a little bit, maybe you can see this. Sorry about this. But I don't know if you can make out, poor lighting, but there's a bolt, and then underneath that is a nut. And what happens is, what I've come to the conclusion is, this bolt actually threads in and it actually bottoms out. So to change the camber, is it the camber? I forget. Change the camber caster angle. Yeah, that's right, camber cast angle. What you do is you undo this nut, I don't know if you can see this, sorry, all the way anti-clockwise, loosen it. Then you get this spanner on the bolt, and then you rotate it. And what happens, it won't do it here, I don't know if you can make out, but you just keep tightening it, and it's loose inside there. And there you go. I don't know if you can see that. by me rotating this bolt, sorry, I'm moving the arm up and down, and that's how it rotates. Now obviously use that grease that he provides with this, and then once you get the camber and caster right, all you do, use this nut here and lock it up. On this side there's a bolt with a spring washer, lock washer, and you tighten that up, and that is how you can adjust the camber. Now I have been told, I think there was somebody on Facebook, I hate Facebook, but there's a lot of good people and a lot of good stuff on Facebook, at least the Triumph Stag group. I think someone mentioned that even with the Chris Witor adjustable camber caster bush, they still didn't get it right. And there is a company out in Australia called K-Mag who makes an adjustable top mount. The best top mounts to get are probably go to Chris Witor. He makes adjustable ones, more expensive than the regular sloppy Joe that you get in all the other places. And believe me, even if you get those regular ones from any vendor, you'll have to have a machine shop work on them. So I would recommend, you know, ditch those and just go for the Chris Witor, spend your money and do it once. And so yeah, that's my take on the lowering and all that, all adjustments, all the all the tightening of the drag strut and this one here, the lower wishbone, should be done with the car on level ground. So just tighten it up, you know, and if you can get in on level ground, do it. I have my torque wrench is about, the handle's about 2 feet, and there's no way I have enough height, so I'll try and find someone who has a hoist I can lift it up on there and do that. So this is my first Stag. This is my purple Stag. This was the actual original color. I think it's called jasmine yellow. The second Stag here is jasmine yellow as well, and this one you see here is a February 71. This one is a May 71. My February 71 is actually a true California car. This car came out of Ohio, and there is a bit of rust. This was another pain in the bottom. My anti-roll bar, just to try and get to those bushes, it's a pain. This is an automatic Stag. The alternator's in the way, the power steering pump's in the way, and the AC transmission cooler's in the way. I just, you know, I'm gonna leave this till another project when I probably will do it when I need to do the steering rack. Another issue, I've got a leak in my steering rack. 20 years on, it's leaking again, but that's pretty good service. I'm gonna leave this for now, and I will I'm gonna work on it after I get the car running. At least it's a minor thing. To me, this is a minor leak compared to all the other leaks this car is doing. So yeah, this is nothing. And at that time, when I take the rack out, I'm going to change the steering bushes here. I'm going to change the whole steering column. I'll probably make another video, or sorry, I'll make a video for the steering column bush, because this one rattles like nobody's business. But yeah, this rack I rebuilt when I first got my Stag all by myself, and I was pretty happy that it actually works. 20 years on is not too bad a job for leaking. So that's the video for this week.